I decided to explore the surrounding area. Maybe I could find something that could give me an idea as to where exactly I was. It was quiet, in fact far too quiet, all except for the distant sounds of birds chirping and crickets. I worried as it was beginning to get dark. Night was falling, and it was hard telling what would be out there. I looked back at what was supposed to be my house, contemplating running back in for the night. No, I decided. I needed to press on and see what was out there. I noticed there were several abandoned houses much like the one I had just come from. I decided to look around inside of them. Of course, just my luck, they were all empty. Inside one of them, there was a pool of blood on the floor. I felt my blood go cold at the sight. At this point, I had come to the conclusion I was in some weird, fucked up mix of Majora's Mask and Purgatory. It was hard to believe, but I was seeing this all with my own eyes. I quickly got myself out of there and began to make my way to the woods on the other side of the clearing. As I moved deeper into the woods, it grew harder and harder to see. I began to grow afraid. The sound of a branch snapping made me stop in my tracks. I looked over to where I believed the sound was coming from. I could see a small, dark figure standing behind some bushes. I called out to them, and they began to run. I quickly followed behind them, desperately trying to catch up. The figure let out a familiar chuckle, and it only sped up. I was barely able to make out the figure in the moonlight. "Skull Kid, hey, wait up," I yelled out. Skull Kid led me out to a clearing in the woods where a single tree stump was sitting in the middle. The utter silence of the woods was deafening. Skull Kid stood on the stump, looking at me for a few moments before nodding and running into the woods. I was about to chase after him again, but I stopped myself, sighing and sitting down on the stump. I knew I should have kept going, but fuck, I was tired. Before I knew it, I was fast asleep on the stump. The sound of birds chirping and quiet murmuring woke me. I slowly lifted my body, rubbing my eyes and looking around. Two fairies quickly flew at me. "I told you that you were too loud. Woke up the poor fucker." I recognized them as Tattle and Navi, and I looked around confused. I was the loud one. I wasn't the one who was whining about food. "We can't even eat." Navi said. "I'm sorry, who are you? What's going on? Where am I?" I asked. The fairies both looked at one another. "Well, my name is Wisteria and this is my husband Dominic."